Hello, stamping friends. This is Jenny from Celebrate the Journey, and it is Wednesday, so it's time for us to make a card. It's nice to be here tonight, this evening. It feels like midnight. It's so dark outside, but that won't last much longer, I hope. We'll see. So I've got two cards to share with you tonight. So we'll see if we can do these without it being too long. We're going to use the stamp set Delivering Cheer. It's really cute, isn't it? You can change the girl's clothes. You can decide what she's going to have in her hands. And it's got a little to from that you can use for a tag if you're going to make some tags. Warming thoughts to you this season, sending love and Christmas cheer. So you could use this for lots of things. This is Christmas, I guess. This is going to be Thanksgiving, but you could easily use this for a birthday. So you don't have to use this for Christmas. I think it will last quite a while. I think these cute little things are leg warmers that you could put on the little girl. And this is just a swish like you could put under their feet for snow or whatever you choose. So I thought we would try a Thanksgiving card first, or it could be a thank you card also. Could be either one. So let's get started. Now, on Monday, I talked to you about how over the weekend, when we were at the virtual Stampin' Up! Convention, that they always showed the sample over to the side while they were working, and we kind of liked that. So we're going to try that for a while. So this is our card. It's a fancy fold card, and it will stand up and look pretty on your mantle or dresser, but this is the way it looks. You can't see it if I don't have it laying down. So this paper is from Beauty of the Earth, and I'm going to show you this technique. Do you see her her coat is this paper. So we're going to do paper piecing, and stamping at the same time. This is the back of, I think this is from Party Pattern Pack or Pattern Party Pack. I don't remember how they have that, but it's from that bundle you can get as a host set. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and do our image first. And so this is 2.5 inches, I believe. Yes, by 5.25. And I put, see here. I put this up here, but I've decided I'm not going to do that this time. Wasn't really super happy with that. I wasn't disgusted with it either, but I'm just not gonna do it this time. I need to make sure when I'm stamping that I leave room for my thankful at the bottom. And I'm going to stamp this. It's two parts, the bottom of the girl and then the top of the girl, whatever is in her hands. So we'll do her feet first. And her boots do have highlights on them, so you don't worry if they don't stamp solid, because they're supposed to have those shiny highlights. see that part there. And now we're going to stamp her bouquet of fall flowers. Branches. I think it's more like branches. And ink that up. That didn't stamp super good right there, but it's not going to show because we're going to color that. Now I need her jacket and I need her sleeves there. This time I'm just going to stamp part of that. And then I will just stamp her coat also. And we'll put all this to the side so that I don't lay ink on everything. And we're going to do some little cutting here. Now you could just color this girl's jacket or coat with blends, but I think it's fun to have the pattern of this pretty paper. It's like damask, or it's a, you know, a little floral. Looks like a nice winter coat, doesn't it? Little mittens and jacket are a little bit tricky, but not too bad. Now when we put that together, she has her pretty bumblebee coat. But her mittens, I thought we'd color them, so I pulled pumpkin pie. We'll color her mittens. I haven't had a minute to look to see who's here tonight. If you're here, leave me a message or a thumbs up so I'll know you were watching. Hi, Jamie's here. Gay's here. I know paper piecing is something, you know, we kind of forget to do, isn't it? I thought her little scarf could be mint macaron. Just don't want it to be the same color as her jacket, her coat. I like paper piecing. It gives your card a different look. It's always fun to have something different. Well, let's do a little coloring before we finish up. Her flowers are all wrapped up in this pretty brown paper. So we're going to use a crumb cake blends. I'm sure she stopped by the florist and picked these up. Now I need her legs. I don't think I picked up my ivory pen. maybe I dropped it here. But her little legs need some color. So this is the ivory. You could use the bronze if you wanted a darker skin tone. And now for the bouquet, I'm using markers instead of, I'm using Stampin' Write markers instead of blends. I just thought they would give a little different look, have more control with the smaller tips. I'm using a little bit of Real Red here. And put some little berries on there. Just some fall colors. And this is Mossy Meadow. We'll add some color there. It's not showing real green on the screen here, but it is. I think we could use a lighter green. Let's see if we can add some Pear Pizzazz in here. Try the other end of the tip. And now we need a little yellow. I think this is some Bumblebee. And we'll just fill that in there to make it look a little more fall. A lot of foliage that we're just adding some foliage in. It's not even part of the stamp. We're just adding our own. Because we wanted it to match her coat, of course. Okay, now let's see what we can, now we'll just put that there first. Put her little girl together. It's like paper dolls. I played with paper dolls and all the time as a little girl. I think they make adult paper dolls. Now we'll put her coat. And she looks so cute in her little outfit. Okay, now let's see if we can put our card together. This is 9 1/4 by 5 1/2. I will have these directions posted on my blog on Friday. So you don't have to worry about writing everything down unless you want to. So this was 9 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I scored it at 1 1/4, 2 3/4, and then I just switched it and did the same. It's easier that way for me. And that makes this center part 3 3/4. So now we have a piece of our paper from Beauty of the Earth, and it will go right there. We want the green side though, of course. And it'll leave a nice little border of the bumblebee. It's funny, I didn't put ribbon on this one. I didn't put bling. I think the stamp is fine just the way it is. I've used this same for the sides, and these are just 1 inch pieces by 5 1/4. Can't get this started tonight. You do kind of have to pay attention to which direction these trees are growing on this card. Now this space is a little larger, but I still just cut, for this one, I just cut these at 1 inch also. You really don't have to put anything on this panel because it doesn't show much, but I thought since I had the paper here, well actually, I think these are a little wider, that I would use it. So that's why, that's the only reason I put it there, is I already had some paper left over. And that's not much of a big strip to, even though I hoard paper like crazy, I don't need to hoard this too much. And it just gives it a little polished look. If you wanted, it could be 1 1/4 if you didn't like that showing, but I think it's fine just to have a little different pattern on the sides. Now we'll put our young lady here. It's fairly quick, but of course I already had the pieces cut, but still, it's some standard cutting, nothing elaborate. The thankful came from one of those I know, it came from this here. Got too many cards out. The Time of Giving. Too many stamp sets out. And I'm stamping it on some of this paper also. I just liked this paper apparently. I'll use this scrap piece here. Just in case I want to make another one. And I have a label die here from Seasonal Labels, I believe. And we'll cut that out. We'll pop that in the cut and emboss machine, and our card will be done. Sort of. love the check on the back. We're going to use that next, so that'll be just as much fun. We can put this on with some dimensionals. This fold is it's easy, Jamie, and it gives a nice, it helps cards stand. I like when cards stand up. Now we do have one other thing we need to do here. If I can find my piece of paper, I think this looks like it. This is 3 inches by 5 1/4, and I'm going to put it on the back. That's where you can write your message or stamp your sentiment. Because you do have to sign your card and write a message to the person you are thankful for. Now your card is complete. Came out cute, didn't it? And it will stand up nicely for you. I hope you liked it. I think it's adorable. I think this stamp set's adorable. So we'll put this one to the side. We'll see if we can find the next card. Find all my pieces. I told you this time we're going to use the checks. I think that'll be fun. And this is the card we're going to make. I said we were having a movie star visit tonight. Do you think that's a movie star delivering her Christmas gifts? And her cute little black and white checked skirt. And then she's got a fancy Christmas tree. Can you see that it's glittery with Wink of Stella? I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not. Now let's see how this card is put together. I think mostly it needs a card. I don't have a card base. So we'll have to get one of those going. We'll start a little differently this time. Now I wanted my focal point to be on black and white, and I hated to waste a whole piece of paper. So you see what I did? I cut that out of there, and we're going to cover it up. It'll still leave a nice border. And I like to do that because you get more bang for your buck. And it also cuts down on the weight of your card. Sometimes our cards can get a little heavy and we have to pay for extra postage. We're not careful. You have to be careful here. And this is some of the, that paper that returned this year. Can't remember the name of it. We had it last year. Heartwarming Hugs, and it's just a nice traditional Christmas colors. I didn't want a super elaborate pattern. And then this is just a piece of basic white to go on the side, but we want to stamp our sentiment before we put that on there. So I chose this one, Sending Love and Christmas Cheer, and that is part of this stamp set. So you didn't have to find a different sentiment. We want to stamp this first, because if we mess up, then we can turn it over. If you wait until you've glued it down, you might be sorry. And we'll adhere that. Then this can just overlap that edge to keep it nice and crisp. All right, here's our little card. I think we can start working on the image. So I have our Stitch So Sweetly, I believe that's what this is. And we're going to put her little fluffy skirt and cute little kitten heels, maybe that's what she has on. Now the tree is going to go off the edge here, and I planned it to be that way because I thought it would look interesting maybe. So we'll put, I don't need the black. We're going to do the tree with shaded spruce. We're going to do it on a piece of scrap paper. See if that's big enough. Yeah. And you'll see why I'm doing it with shaded spruce in just a minute. She does have gloves and sleeves there, but our bow is going to cover that up, so we don't have to worry about that. Makes it nice and easy. Now, since this is water-based, now when you use your Wink of Stella, it's going to blend all that Christmas tree in there so pretty. And it'll make it shiny all at the same time. So you're not having to worry about watercolor. You just let the Wink of Stella do the work for you. If you had wanted to color this with blends, it will not work with, it won't blend the color. You would have to use blends to drag your color. But I thought this was so nice and soft and sparkly. Made me happy. Okay, we do have to fussy cut this, but it's not too bad. We'll just do some little zigzaggy parts here. Remember, the trick to this fussy cutting is you turn the paper, not your scissors. And you'll get a smoother cut. And if you want to come back and add some little snips in there on those branches, you can do that. Make it look more like a Christmas tree. Get it off. Doesn't want to come away. And I'm just going to cut straight across there. She doesn't need that. She doesn't need those arms. Then when we put that pretty bow on there, it will cover that up. Let's hope we have enough room. She looks kind of high there on there, but we'll make that work. We're ready to, not quite, we need to do her legs with the ivory. And her shoes, I'm using a light real red. We got to do her skirt, don't we? So we're going to stamp her skirt again on our check paper. I think we have, well, I know we have some gray and white paint checks, buffalo checks in the Peaceful Cabin. If you don't have the party pack, you could do this with that paper, and I think it would look pretty too. It'd look very elegant, the gray and white buffalo check. There's her fancy skirt. We'll put that on here. You can also, if you wanted this a color, you could take your blending brush and add some color to the white, and it would, you could have red and black or pink and black. You could have all different colors of buffalo check. We'll put that on there. This is a flat card. I used very few dimensionals. I think I used some on the tree. That was the end of that stamp and seal. I knew it was getting to the end. Now we're ready to put this here. Let's hope our tree, it's gonna make it. That'll be just great. I think I'm actually gonna trim that a little bit more there, so the white's not peeking through. string, adhesive string. And we don't want that too close. For that shiny little tree. Isn't that cute? We'll put this on with some dimensionals. And then we're going to decorate our tree. If I can find my decorations here. We are using this sheer, real red sheer ribbon. And we want our bow to be kind of fluffy, so we're going to do 2 times around. Let's see if I can see comments here. Hi, Marge. It's nice to see you. Oh, you've never done paper piecing before? It is so much fun. It works really good with, lots of different stamps. You know, the pretty pumpkins we had this time, I think would work good with paper piecing. You could have pieced pumpkins. This one, it works good. I don't know what, I'd have to do some thinking about our current stamps that would work good for this. I'll try to come up with some suggestions. Now we'll put that little bow there, and you don't know that I trimmed her hands off. Needs to be tighter. There we go. Nice tight bow to hold that down. Because doesn't that look fun to have her skirt be plaid rather than just colored? Even though, you know, it's just different. It's just a different look. I think I accidentally pulled that glue dot up. Now, I was not about to make you guys watch me cut this, the little stars out and everything. The Whimsical Tree bundle, the die had these ornaments and silver stars. And so I cut the baubles out of the red velvet paper, and then the stars are some scrap pieces of silver. Every little scrap. So we're just going to dip those in some Tombow and put them on our tree. We'll be decorating our tree. See if we can do that without making a big mess. And we'll just, now if you didn't have this, these ornaments, sequins, and a circle hole punch would make some baubles. Or you could use rhinestones. There's all kinds of alternatives, and the rhinestones would probably be a little easier than trying to put these little stars, but I wanted them. We do what makes us happy. And now I'll put some of these baubles. I have to make sure I'm turning them the right way so that they're not upside down. Then they look kind of like firecrackers, don't they? Or cherry bombs. That little stem. This is a little bit tedious, but not too bad. I think we can do one more here. Now I'm certainly going to save these. And if I put them in a safe place, you know, you think I'll remember where they are? And I think that's the end of our card. So here's our movie star delivering her Christmas tree to your house. She could knock on the door and be right there to greet you. And our other card is Thanksgiving, our thankful card. We haven't made too much of a mess tonight at all. So I will post these measurements on Friday for you. If you need them sooner, just text me or email me and I can share them with you. Thanks for joining me tonight for Wednesday night craft night. And I will be back next Monday with Lunch and Learn. Talk to you later.